Hi, and welcome into another training session with the Magicoder. Today, we're going to take your morning broadcast to the next level with virtual sets. Let's start by going to our desktop. You take a look over here, we have a couple of options. There's a folder full of pieces to virtual sets, and you have different options that could be an asset for your broadcast. Anything from birthdays to backgrounds to features like lunch and news and weather. Everything should be in this folder. But we're going to start by opening Wirecast. If you notice, we already have a virtual set here. This could be the case for you as well, but we're going to learn how to build this exact set from scratch. If you take a look, you notice that the layers have two spots filled. Remember in the first video when we talked about if you want something to be in the front, it needs to be at its highest point. Layer 1 is where we want a watermark. Layer 2 is where you may want your stories for videos and pictures. Layer 3 is where you'd probably want your camera. We want virtual sets to live on layer 4 actually, and layer 5 is with audio. So since this set needs to come down, let's take our hand, grab, and drag. Just like this title up here, it still appears. Let's bring it down as well. When we click on the virtual set, we notice that it has a couple of features to it. We see a background and a monitor. But is it just one picture or a couple? Let's click out the arrows to the left here and take a look at what we have. As we see, there are actually 4 features of this set. The TV, the partition, the background, and another background. 4 features to make one set. To make them disappear, all we simply do is click the eyes. If you turn the eye off, the feature goes away. So how did we get there? If you notice, we follow the same rules of stacking with 4 features here in our virtual set. But if you come down to the bottom, you'll notice it only takes up 1 spot on a layer. So let's clear this by hitting clear layer and spacebar, and let's find out how we made that set. Let's start by going to the plus sign and then going to Media File. If you notice, here's the features we were just working with. So let's connect one at a time. We know we want a background, so let's start there. Now that we have this feature, let's add to it. But instead of adding it down at a layer here, let's actually work up here. If you notice in shot layers, which we found by just clicking the arrows in and out, or if you need to reference the top, it's the top left button. Shot layers is what we're working with. All we did was import one picture, and we're going to build an entire set in that one spot. Just like the rules of stacking apply, they also go here. It's easier to move features up and down with the up and down arrows, and then add with plus and minus. We're going to hit the plus sign, and you guessed it, Media File. Now let's add a desk. The desk is a little over the top, so let's simply click and drag down a little bit. We already have it positioned perfectly for the background, so let's keep going. We're going to hit the plus sign again, Media File. This time, let's add this blue background. Whoa, took up a lot of space. Let's see what we can do with that. Right now, it's covering our desk, so I'm going to hit this down arrow. Oh, that looks a little better. Let's center it up a little bit. And maybe stretch the corners some. There we go. Looks a little better. And then our final step is we're going to hit the plus sign once more, media file, and now we're going to add the TV. This is unique in the sense that you could have it standing up or hanging. If you wanted to rotate this, all you have to do is come to the side and you can shrink down and you could have the monitor behind you by just clicking down the path. Now it looks like the TV is behind the desk. And we have created our virtual set. Now, the next step is to add our camera. If I hit the plus sign and I go to Capture Devices and Intensity Pro 4K, this is where our camera would come into play. Whenever you're filming with your students, you probably have a green screen. Whenever your students are in front of the green screen, ideally, we would position them where you want them to be behind the desk, come up to the person icon, and hit Use Chroma Key. If you're properly pointed at a green screen, you can then come over here to Color and select the color that you want to get rid of. Let's select green. If you notice, turn a little blue over there. Ideally, whenever you have your students in front of a green screen, the whole background would cut out here and it would only show your students on set, as if they were sitting at the desk themselves. And it is as easy as that to set up your virtual set and position your camera properly so that way your students appear to be on set. This has been how to incorporate a virtual set into your broadcast. Be sure to check out all of our training videos for more information as we get you set to broadcast right.